Hi guys, sorry I'm not in class today. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope that you guys are having a good day, good morning starting off. Please remember that our guest teacher is here and he or she is doing the absolute best that they can, and please be helpful, be courteous. When they are talking, make sure that you are not talking. I expect you guys to treat the guest teacher with the utmost respect. All right, so let's look at our mathematics unit 3, lesson 31. So on lesson 31, we are going to be using tape diagrams today. And yes, you probably know, you can look at these, some of you can just look at these problems and know exactly what it is that you're doing. But I really want you to use the tape diagram so that you can kind of get the idea of what's going on, because there's actually two types of division. There's the partitive, and then there's the measurement version. And there's two different types of division. One is the partitive, is where you're finding out if you take a whole group and you have so many in each group, how many groups will there be? And then there's the measurement, where you're trying to figure out if you have a certain amount and you want to know how many are going to be in each group if you have this many groups. That's the measurement. So there's two different types. And it'll be kind of clear when you see how, when you look at the tape diagrams. And on the first page, on page 48, you'll see a tape diagram, the two different tape diagrams that show what the partitive and then the measurement look like. So if you want to take a look at the two different ones. In some of the videos that I put on, you'll see the difference, and they'll talk a little bit about the differences in the other two videos if you want to get more into that. But let's go ahead and look at our first problem. So this one says, draw a tape diagram and solve. The first two diagrams have been drawn for you. Identify if the group size or number of groups is unknown. So we're going to be looking at what the unknown is, and then we'll answer the question. So Mooney needed exactly 4 plates and at each table at a banquet. She has 312 plates. How many tables is she able to prepare? So as you can see right here, we have 312 plates. That's her total. And what it's asking is, how many tables of 4 plates each is she going to have? So the question that we're trying to find is, how many different tables are there going to be? How many more 4s? So if there's another 4, and there's another 4, and there's another 4, how many tables of 4 plates will be in the total of 312? And many of you are already probably going to say, no, that's just 312 divided by 4. And yes, it is. 312 divided by 4. So if we look at this, let's go ahead and do it just for this one problem, so you can remember how to do long division. How many times does 4 go into 3? It doesn't, so we're going to move it over to 31. How many times does 4 go into 31? And if you wanted to do it by skip counting, you could. If you wanted to do another way, you can. If you know that 4 times 7 is 28, that would do it. 28, that's going to be closest, because 4 times 8 is 32, which is more than 31. So we're going to do 28, 31 minus 28, but this is 4 times 7, so I need to make sure I put that on the top in the quotient. 31 minus 28 is going to give me 3. I'm going to bring down the 2. 4 goes into 32. How many times? 8 times. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 minus 32 is 0. That's going to be my remainder. So really, we're going to find out that there actually are 32 tables that can be found. So what is missing? Is it how many are going to be in each group? No, we know that. There's going to be 4 in each group. But how many tables are there going to be? It's going to be divided up into 32 tables of 4. So the 32 is what we're looking for, and the amount is what we're looking for. All right, let's go ahead and look at another problem. We'll draw the tape diagram for this. Rita made 5 batches of cookies. There was a total of 2,400 cookies. If each batch contained the same number of cookies, how many cookies were in 4 batches? So, how many cookies were in 4 batches? Well, this is kind of a little bit of a tricky one. Rita made 5 batches of cookies. There was a total of 240 cookies. So, 240 cookies, 2,400 cookies is the total. She made 5 batches, so we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made 5 batches. We need to know how many are in each batch, but we know that there's 5. But really what it's asking is, if each batch contains the same number of cookies, how many cookies were in 4 batches? That's what we need to know. So we really want to know what's in 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to know what's in those batches. So there's actually kind of a double thing we have to do. So the first thing we need to do is we need to see how many are in each batch. So if there's 5 altogether, and that is 2,400, we're going to do 2,400 divided by 5. 5 goes into 2, it doesn't go in. Does 5 go into 24? It sure does, but it only goes in 20 times. 5 times 4 is 20. That is not one right there. All right, 24 minus 20 would be 4. Bring down the 0. How many times does 5 go into 40? 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 8 is 40. 40, so 8. 40. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 minus 40 is 0. Bring down the 0. How many times does 5 go into 0? It doesn't. 0 times. No remainder. So 480 is our answer. Well, what is 480? 480 is how many cookies are in the first batch, how many cookies are in the second batch, how many cookies are in the third batch, how many cookies are in the fourth batch, and how many cookies are in the fifth batch. Because they all have the same amount. If each batch contains the same number of cookies, how many cookies were in 4 batches? So now we need to say, if we have this one, this one, this one, and this one, we're going to have, you could add it. You could do 480 plus 480 plus 480 plus 480, but that would take a lot. Let's just multiply it. 480 times 2. I'm sorry, not times 2. We want 1, 2, 3, 4. My fault. Times 4. 480 times 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 8 is 32. Carry the 3. 4 times 4 is 16. Plus 3 more, 17, 18, 19. So there are 1,920 cookies in 4 batches. It's asking how many cookies were in 4 batches. So we could answer this question in 4 batches. There are 920 cookies. I'm sorry, 1,920 cookies. There we go. All right, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do the other 1, 2, 3 problems. Please go ahead and do those, and then please go pick up the exit ticket over on the counter by the basket, and make sure you do your exit ticket and turn that in. Once you have finished that, you guys may do quiet creation time. Please do not get up and do any filming right then. If you want to use Prodigy, that would be fine. If you want to even do typing.com, that would be fine. But please work on something quietly and continue to follow directions and do exactly what the sub says. All right, so have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope everything goes well. All right, love you guys. Bye.